Kanwar Singh Bakshi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to participate in this general debate. Mr. Speaker, I am very fortunate to be part of this government, which has been in power for the last 7 years under the strong and dynamic leadership of Right Honorable John Key. Before I go further, Mr. Speaker, the previous Speaker, Honorable Ruth Dyson, mentioned that Nikki K's speech was a valedictory speech. I think I can see many faces on the Labour side which are due for the valedictory speech, and they should deliver that. Mr. Speaker, recently I was overseas and saw the strong leadership of John Key was being mentioned by many overseas leaders. Mr. Speaker, I had the opportunity to meet many delegations from India, Russia, Belarus, the Philippines, and Georgia. They all are very keen on joining New Zealand and have bilateral trade with us. Mr. Speaker, I would like to congratulate Honorable Bill English for leading this country during the very difficult times which we had in past 7 years. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to congratulate our Honorable Tim Grosser, who is working hard with his team to make sure that we have got many markets for the kiwi producers so that they can have access to those markets in long term. Mr. Speaker, during my visit to India, I had the opportunity to meet the Trade and Commerce Minister, Honorable Nirmala Sitharaman, and she mentioned that she was very keen on progressing the FTA with New Zealand. Mr. Speaker, I also had the opportunity to meet Mr. Ashok Gajapatha Raju, who is the Civil Aviation Minister, and he showed keen interest on having more pilot training in New Zealand in comparison to past. Mr. Speaker, after talking about the economy, I would like to touch on the law and order, being the chair of Law and Order Select Committee. Mr. Chair, it has been a busy year, if I am just talking about the last year, where this government has worked hard to make sure that people feel safe in their houses. Mr. Speaker, we introduced Public Protection Order, which ensures that the people who are of high risk individuals who are coming out of the prison, before 6 months of that, the court can order on GPS tracking on these people. I think that was a great initiative by this government. The extended supervision is also another area where this government has worked in past 1 year, where the high-risk offenders coming out of the jails can be monitored in different manners. Mr. Speaker, these are the things which we have been doing in past year or 7 years, but I think there is opportunity for us, not only what we have achieved to discuss in this general debate, but also to talk about what we are going to do in next 2 years and beyond. Mr. Speaker, the next major project which the justice sector is taking is to deal with the family violence. Mr. Speaker, the Minister, Amy Adams, who is leading this sector, has opened up a discussion document for Care of Children's Act, which closed on 18th of September, but the issues which are being included in that is to make that the police can, in certain circumstances, require to make mandatory arrest for the breach of protection order. Mr. Speaker, recently we had a petition in Law and Order Select Committee where this issue was raised, and when it was discussed with the Minister said that we are working on it. This government, Mr. Speaker, listens to the people and act upon it. Another example of that is the Rules Reduction Task Force. I hosted one of the meetings in South Auckland where a large number of people came to discuss their issues, and the Minister, Honorable Paula Bennett, has made a decision to reduce the red tapeism in this government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.